everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, and this is Car Chronicles. You guys ready? Let's never say what you'll never do. Because a lot of times, if you come out of a family of narcissists, you come out of a family with abuse, you may have set some standards in your mind. And for some of you have set standards. You say, I would never do this. That's something I would never do. I would never use drugs. I would never, because my family did this. I would never prostitute. I would never be homeless. I would never. Don't be surprised. When you get with a narcissist, you'd be surprised at what you would never do that you find yourself doing. And for a lot of people, when you come out of the situationship, the biggest fear that you live in is shame. You're coming out and you're living in shame because that is not how my parents taught me. That is not how I grew up. That is not principles in life that I learned. That is not something I would never. Some of you have already said, I would go to my grave. I would never tell some of the things that I did when I was with this narcissist. Some of you can actually say drugs, prostitution, homelessness, stealing, lying, some of the most horrific things that you can imagine are some of the things that these narcissists have you in. And the sad part about it is somehow they have convinced you. And it's not even what they said. It's like they chip away at your character. They chip away at your standards. They chip away at your boundaries. And you find yourself doing things to please them so they don't leave. You find yourself doing things because you really love this person that you would have never imagined yourself doing, ever. And some people will never talk about it. Some people would never admit to it. But there are things that you have done. Things that, being a therapist, you got to have a strong mind. Because there are some things that people disclose in therapy that you would never want to repeat. You would never want to. You have to have a strong mind so that you don't relive the trauma. You don't have that secondary trauma or that compassion fatigue, when you are helping people. Because some of the stories that you hear about what people have done to other people's children, and they knew and they didn't know how to save them, or they didn't know how to rescue the children, or some of the secrets. And these people are coming in and they're shattered and they're broken, but they were connected to a narcissist. And the one thing they always said, I never imagined that I would ever be in a situation like this. Everybody else, I saw them do it, but I couldn't see myself. So be careful when you judge people, because you never know. And some of you like, that's one thing I wouldn't. That's one thing. Don't say that, because the person that you're looking at and that you're judging said the exact same thing. And somehow they ended up in this situation. And now they're so ashamed that they never will tell anybody some of the things that they had to experience with the narcissist. Don't judge them.